Chosen one, you didn't come to fit in. You came to shift, to awaken, to elevate. You carry light codes, wisdom, and a divine assignment encoded in your spirit. Here are 5 types of chosen ones, and the sacred traits that set them apart. 1. Earth angels, the healers of hearts. Chosen one. If you've always felt like you feel too much, it's because you were designed that way. You didn't come into this world with walls around your heart. You came in open, raw, radiant, and deeply attuned to the energy of others. You're the one who senses pain in someone's voice before they speak it, the one who picks up on unspoken sadness in a smile. You feel it all, not because you're weak, but because your soul is calibrated to compassion. Your sensitivity is not a flaw, it is your divine technology. You are the balm in a broken world. You bring calm to chaos, gentleness to grief, and light to those who have forgotten their own. You may find yourself comforting strangers, listening when no one else will, or simply being the energetic safe space others silently gravitate toward. But let's be clear, your gift isn't just comfort, it's transformation. When people enter your field, they soften, they open, they begin to heal. Not because you fix them, but because your presence is healing. You don't need to say much. Your energy speaks for you. You are seen. You are safe. You are loved. Yet, this sacred light you carry can often be misunderstood or even taken for granted. Some may mistake your gentleness for passivity. Others may drain you, not realizing that the peace they feel in your presence is the result of your deep spiritual work. But don't let that dim your light. You were never meant to harden. You were meant to remain open, even in a world that numbs itself. You are here to be the living reminder that love still exists, and it heals. Your sacred mission: 1. To tend to the emotional wounds others are too afraid to face. 2. To be the quiet miracle in someone's darkest moment. 3. To radiate unconditional love that awakens people to their divinity. 4. To restore faith, not just in others, but in the power of the human heart. You may not always be recognized for your impact, but trust this: you shift realities just by showing up in your truth. Your softness is your superpower, and your heart is holy. Second grid keepers, the guardians of sacred sites. Chosen one, if you've ever felt an unexplained connection to certain places, as if your soul already knows them, you're not imagining it. You are what the ancients would call a grid keeper, a sacred steward of the Earth's energetic body. You are drawn to mountains, deserts, oceans, temples, forests, and ancient ruins not just for their beauty, but because your spirit remembers. These are not just places to you. They are portals, memory keepers, energetic nodes that carry the codes of past civilizations, star nations, and spiritual power. Your soul has walked these lands before, in other lifetimes, in other realms, and it carries the blueprint of Earth's divine grid system. When you're near these energetic hotspots, even unknowingly, your very presence becomes a tuning fork, harmonizing and anchoring light. You may not always feel it happening, but when you stand barefoot on the earth, pray by a river, or meditate atop sacred ground, you become a living conduit. You transmute distortion. You reactivate dormant energy lines. You bring the light of the cosmos deep into the bones of the earth. You are a bridge between heaven and earth. You carry within you the remembrance of Lemuria, Atlantis, Avalon, and places not yet known by name. You are here to awaken these energies again, to protect what is sacred, and to restore Earth's original divine blueprint. And you don't need permission or a platform to do this work. Sometimes it's as simple as visiting a sacred site and listening. Sometimes it's standing quietly, placing your hands on the ground and whispering a blessing. Sometimes it's just being there. Your frequency alone uplifts the land. You are doing more than you realize. Your sacred mission? 1. To answer the call when the land whispers to your soul. 2. To ground divine light into the earth's grids through movement, presence, and prayer. 3. To be a planetary acupuncture point, clearing, aligning, and reactivating the flow of sacred energy. 4th, to hold space for Gaia's healing and ascension. Never underestimate the power of your footsteps, your voice, or your stillness. You are a guardian of Earth's ancient memory and its divine future, and every time you honor that call, the Earth breathes a little easier. 3. Shadow alchemists, the transmuters of pain. Chosen one, your life was never meant to be easy, because you chose the path of transformation. You are what the spiritual realm calls a shadow alchemist, a soul brave enough to dive into darkness, not to be consumed by it, but to reclaim the light buried within it. You've walked through fire. You've faced betrayals, losses, traumas, and heartbreaks that could have shattered anyone. But you didn't break. You awakened. Where others ran from pain, you sat with it. Where others numbed, you leaned in. And where others stayed wounded, you transformed. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are sacred maps. You carry in your energy field the frequency of someone who has lived through the storm and come out golden. People feel it before you speak. They trust you because they know you've been to the underworld and returned with medicine. You turn pain into power, shadow into light. You've learned that the darkest places hold the deepest truths. And now, your role is to guide others through their darkness, not by preaching, but by being. Your presence is a healing balm, not because you try to fix people, but because you embody what healing looks like. You don't bypass pain. You don't wear false positivity. You honor the grief. You honor the rage. You alchemize the heaviness into wisdom, into creativity, into soul fire. Your sacred mission. 1. To sit with others in their darkness without fear. 2. To reflect their light when they've forgotten it. 3. To show them that trauma doesn't define them, it refines them. 4. To live as living proof that pain is not the enemy, it's the portal to rebirth. You are the phoenix, the shaman, the soul midwife who turns endings into beginnings. The world may not always understand your depth, but it desperately needs your medicine. You didn't survive just to survive. You came to transmute, to teach, to awaken. 4. Mystic warriors, the protectors of truth. Chosen one, if you've ever felt like you're constantly battling energies others don't even notice, it's because you are. You are a mystic warrior, a soul forged in the fires of truth, carrying an ancient charge to protect the light in a world veiled by illusion. You see beyond the surface. You feel what's not being said. You detect dishonesty, manipulation, and false light with razor-sharp clarity. It's not paranoia. It's your spiritual discernment. You've always known when something was off, even if no one else could see it. Because you weren't born to follow. You were born to reveal. You challenge illusions, not with ego, but with divine insight. Your soul has walked lifetimes as a guardian, a priestess, a prophet, or a seer. In every incarnation, you are called to stand between light and darkness, shielding the innocent and dismantling falsehoods. That's why you've likely faced resistance in this life, from people, systems, and energies. Because your truth threatens deception. Your presence disrupts false power. But the world needs your fierce clarity now, more than ever. You are here to call out spiritual manipulation, to defend the innocent, to restore truth where lies have ruled, and to activate empowerment in those still asleep. You don't fight for attention, you fight for alignment. You're not afraid of spiritual warfare because your soul remembers it. You've battled unseen forces. You've stood your ground when others bowed. You've been misunderstood, even exiled, for telling uncomfortable truths. But you keep rising. Why? Because your faith isn't based on religion. It's rooted in divine knowing. Your sacred mission? 1. To pierce the veil of illusion and reveal divine truth. 2. To expose hidden agendas, not from fear, but from love. 3. To guard the sacred within people, communities, and the earth. 4. To empower others to trust their inner truth, no matter what the world says. You are the seer, the truth teller, the spiritual sentinel, standing tall in a time of great awakening. You don't need to fit in. You were never meant to. You were sent to shake foundations, so only the truth remains. 5. Divine rebels, the sacred disruptors. Chosen one, if you've always felt like the outsider, it's because your soul came to stand out, not blend in. You were never meant to follow blindly, nod in silence, or conform to a system that chokes the soul. You are a divine rebel, not rebellious out of anger, but out of purpose. From a young age, you saw through the cracks. While others accepted what they were told, you questioned it. Rules, roles, labels, none of it sat right with your spirit. Because your inner compass doesn't point to comfort, it points to truth. You carry sacred fire, not to destroy, but to transform. You weren't born to color inside the lines. You were born to redraw the lines. Your soul remembers lifetimes where truth was punished, and still, you spoke it. That's why you can't tolerate fake smiles, false authority, or spiritual hypocrisy. You feel when something is off, and you're not afraid to call it out. You challenge culture, religion, tradition, not from ego, but from a deeper knowing that something more aligned is possible. You are a disruptor, but a sacred one. Where others seek approval, you seek authenticity. Where others avoid discomfort, you walk straight into it, because you know that real change isn't comfortable. You were sent to shatter illusions, break generational patterns, dismantle broken systems, even the spiritual ones, and in their place, you're here to build new paradigms rooted in freedom, love, and truth. Your sacred mission, 1. To live so boldly and authentically that others remember their own voice. 2. To challenge every structure that silences the soul. 3. To disrupt not for destruction, but for rebirth. 4. To create a new way, one that reflects divine truth, not human control. You are a revolution wrapped in a soul, a visionary cloaked in rebellion, a leader of the new earth. So if they've called you too much, too intense, too rebellious, smile. They're right, because you're too free to be boxed, too awake to pretend, too divine to play small. You didn't come to fit the mold. You came to shatter it with love. Chosen one, you didn't stumble upon this message by accident. Your soul called it in, because you're ready to remember who you are. Whether you're an earth angel, a grid keeper, a shadow alchemist, a mystic warrior, a divine rebel, or a blend of many, your essence is sacred. You are here not just to live, but to awaken, to uplift, and to transform. Your gifts aren't random. Your struggles weren't punishment. They were initiations, preparing you for the mission you agreed to before this life even began. So don't dim your light. Don't shrink to fit. Don't wait for permission. The world doesn't need more followers. It needs you, in your truth, in your power, in your divine purpose. You are the shift. You are the new earth in human form. And now, it's time to rise. Which one are you, or are you a blend of many? Remember, your soul mission is sacred, and the world needs your light. Comment 144 if you are rising into your power.